So I met this woman, who I will call Lucille, on a prison pen pal site. I got bored over the summer, so yeah. I didn't really think of posting the story on here, since the case was still ongoing, and I didn't want to incriminate her or anything. So here it is. Lucille didn't have many close friends or family members, except her brother. They both had a great home life together. Married parents, nice house, good income. But their father came down with cancer, and after his death their mother remarried, which didn't sit well with Lucille's brother for some reason, which caused him to go into a rebellious mean streak that never ended. He became addicted to crack, but Lucille always tried to support him, and tried to stay in contact with him. She was too good to him, if you ask me. I mean, he only ever called her when he needed money or a place to stay. She always delivered, even left a spare key for him. Honestly, quite surprised what happened hadn't happened sooner. At the time Lucille, like any average human being, had a dog, Lucy. She was a Beagle Terrier mix, incredibly hyper. Of course, her and Lucille were very close. Anyways, after coming home from work one day, Lucille came home to find Lucy dead, and not by natural causes. Lucille didn't give me details, because the wounds are still pretty fresh, but she claims there was blood. She also claims that she knows it was her brother, that there was no broken lock, no broken window, no signs of somebody forcing their way in, but some of her meds were missing, as well as her laptop, tablet, and a few charging cables. To this day Lucille doesn't know what caused her brother to do what he did. She just knows it was him. She decided to not press charges, claims she wasn't as upset with him at the time, and it wasn't until a few weeks had gone by of her trying to contact him for answers that it really got to her. He was ignoring her calls and all she wanted was answers. Lucille said she was very ashamed of how much the death of her dog had affected her. She said she became very impulsive. She started drinking, going to bars a lot, slept around. I guess she just wasn't comfortable in the house anymore. Then she bought a gun, which she claims to be her biggest regret. After about a month, she got a call from him. Something about wanting to talk or needing a place to stay. Lucille was drunk during the phone call and doesn't remember much of it. She doesn't know what the F was wrong with her brother, and quite frankly I don't know what made him think coming back would be effing okay. All she remembers, apart from the phone call, is shooting him in the face when he walked through her front door. Dramatis personae. HANNIBAL equals MYSELF. Incompetent REFERE equals IR. Entitled WRESTLER equals EW. Here, dear readers, another count of my school years. I'm in the end of grade 10, and the wrestling season is drawing to a close. We set the scene at the city championships, where the bronze medal qualifier is about to take place. Hannibal and Du are fighting for the bronze medal of the 90 kilograms, 198 pounds weight class. Both are in grade 10. The winner will not only get the medal, but the chance to advance to the regional competition held in a few weeks. Being very evenly pitched, the same height weighted GCTI very slowly gain points on U. Then with 30 seconds to spare, U pulls a reversal on the ground. To spare the details, the score at the end was 7 for Hannibal and 4 for U. However, the I was either a relative or an acquaintance. I never found out, but suspect. I says I'm pinned after the bell is rung, giving U the win. Even though I was ahead on points, wasn't pinned, and the timer had clearly run out. I'm infuriated to the point of saying a profane word that rhymes with hockey puck, to which the I tells me no swearing on the mats, young man. All the while enduring a self-righteous smile from both him and the you who stole my victory. Nearly all of my self-control was needed not to punch I full power in the throat. I'm livid for days, as my wrestling season has just ended. I then take the anger and lift weights very seriously from the end of city championships, April, until just before grade 11 season, November. If you have never lifted weights in anger, I highly recommend it. There is nothing quite as soothing as a healing power of hatred. I pushed the extra reps out knowing next year I would embarrass him every time our schools would duel. But the gods were even more generous than that, and so our revenge begins. Grade 11 preseason tournament has now started, a pooled tournament, where each weight class is split into groups of 5 or 6 and everyone wrestles everyone else. Those who win all matches get a small medal. It's seen as a warm-up tournament, to get used to the ensuing months of high competition. Who is in my pool? After the national anthem and the head referee welcoming and wishing good luck all the competitors over the PA system who approaches. He then says to me with the most arrogant smile he could muster, "Hey, you go to high school name, don't you? Yeah, I remember you. I beat you at Cities last year." The hubris was over the top, as the same Meyer is running the mat we are on. With my loose-fitted shirt on, he can't tell I've been working out thinking about punishing him for the past 7 months. I smile and say, "Yeah, close match," with the zen of knowing all that work will now pay off. Our names are called by the eye. I remove my shirt and the difference is literally night and day. He looks exactly the same condition. He looks nervous. After the formality of shaking hands, the whistle blows. Due to the now excessive upper body strength difference, his defense crumbles and I've scored a 1-point takedown. It was me literally grabbing both his shoulders and throwing him down. The move, although not an officially named move, was described by a close-range teammate in the 68 kg class as like a cop arresting a suspect, bro. This took all of 8 seconds. I'm on his back thinking of a good way to pin him, and the cradle comes to mind. I execute the cradle, and he has been pinned in under 12 seconds. Hannibal wins. The eye does not give me the pin. He slowly counts to 5, then gives me another point for holding. His plan was to have U break my grip from the cradle, making me arm tired, thus allowing him to win via scoring back the 2 points he was now down. An aside on the cradle, it is a move where you grab around someone's knee and over their neck, holding the leg to the chest. This then makes it near impossible to avoid being turned onto the back and exposes both shoulder blades for a pin. I have the cradle on U, and he is fighting for all he can. The eye is not going to give me the win. My mind switches gears once I mentally figure out the following. I hate this person. He stole my victory last year and he's trying that even now. How much can I hurt him? I start squeezing harder and harder. Like a boa or python, I squeeze harder when he breathes out, so he can never refill his lungs to full capacity. The eye does nothing, waiting for me to exhaust myself. Who turns red, then blue. I'm suffocating him with all my might. My workouts had taken me to the low end of the strength spectrum for grown men, and he was still an average teenager. A fully legal move is still devastating to the body when done full power, with a massive strength difference, for a long time. After a good 50 to 60 seconds of suffocating Hu into said pretzel formation, I look up at I show no exertion as I smile at him. He sees that I'm enjoying hurting Hu as I squeeze even harder, jerking his head and neck visibly. He realizes his politics are no match for my conditioning and quickly ends the match with a pin victory for Hannibal. Aftermath. Hu has to be helped off the mats by his school's coach. I've squeezed him so hard and long that I've broken blood vessels in his eyes. He has to sit out the season for the medical. The head referee reprimands I and kicks him out of the tournament. He later loses his license to referee matches as he allowed a kid under his watch to be badly hurt due to gross incompetence. I continue with the tournament, ending with a 4-1 record, losing only to the kid, who was about 195 centimeters, 6 feet 5 inches. With his reach advantage, he was able to keep me from grabbing around his waist. Thank you for watching. Slap that like button and comment your opinion on these stories below. I'm waiting. Write that comment. Seriously. Have you written it yet? If you don't comment, you make a bunny cry somewhere. You're not that kind of person, I know. Anyways, peace out, and catch you tomorrow.